For centuries, men and women have stepped away from the table to fast, to pray, to seek something deeper. But what does a 40-day fast look like today? I'm Dr. Sam King of Fasting, and in this podcast, I invite you to walk with four ordinary people on an extraordinary journey.
Day 12, welcome back. Why does water taste like metal? What a great question. This is actually something Dave experienced on his day 12. I've heard other people experience it on other days. So water started to taste very metallic to him. So one of the reasons that water can taste like metal is, well, there's metal in it. So for certain people, they can actually start to really taste the minerals in the metal. And it might be just your water source that you have that is actually starting to taste like metal. So you may just need to change your water. Try going down and buying some other filtered water, like some vapor waters or vapor distilled waters. Try something else. Try a different type of water and see if it's just the water you're drinking. That's the easiest way to check. But if it still tastes like metal, it could be dehydrated, which is easy to happen when you've been fasting this long, you're drinking a lot of fluids. So you could be dehydrated, which is like, I don't want to drink any more water because I'm not motivated because it drinks tastes like metal. The other thing is you may need to brush your teeth. So if you haven't been brushing your teeth enough, you might have some poor oral hygiene. Ketosis could be a cause of it. So we're obviously in ketosis, but it can actually be a change of your oral microbiome is starting to change. And that can also cause a metallic taste. And they found that in a research study in 2022 called Characterization of Metallic Off-Flavoring in Drinking Water. What a wonderful research name. The changes in saliva can make certain individuals more sensitive to metallic flavors in beverages. So it might be you're more sensitive to it. Could be dehydrated. Obviously, you're in ketosis. You're not going to be able to change that. You might need to be better on your oral hygiene, or your saliva is changing, your oral microbiome is changing. The salivary proteins have been changing in your mouth because you're fasting, and so it may be causing a metallic taste. So what do you do? Well, it tastes like metal. You can take a 32-ounce thing of water and you can add any tablespoon of any fruit juice to your water, and it won't boost your sugar. That's an easy way to just change the flavor of the water that won't affect you as far as fasting, won't break your fast. Now, if a certain flavor makes you more hungry, don't have that one. Lime juice a lot of times doesn't. Lemon juice, those things make you hungry, then switch to the juice. But you can try any juice. You can add any juice to your water, and that should help. There you go. That's the scientific reason why it's tasting like milk. So that was his challenge. And one of the interesting things I really like about reading through these things and going through things, it reminds me of certain things. So when I look at Chelsea's, her brain fog is like completely gone at day 12. Her mental clarity is super high. She's really easy to focus. But it was church Sunday, she went to church. And this is really kind of impactful and really helps me, even though I'm fasting, because it's a reminder to myself. She said, I need to make sure I continue this fast for God and not for my own selfish desire to lose weight. Hits me. It's like, because, a lot of times, like when I'm feeling a little, I've been on vacation a lot with the family, I'm like, well, I'm just going to fast. And my focus is not a religious focus. It's a self-focus on just wanting to lose weight. And so she said, so I'm feeling a strong urge to look more into how to pray better and more often. Well, that's really impactful. And that became her goal that week. How to pray better and more often. Do we have a biblical verse for this? And I think it's really interesting in Luke 11:1. One day, Jesus was praying in a certain place. When he finished, one of his disciples said to him, Lord, teach us to pray, just as John taught his disciples. So at first you're like, well, they just obviously are praying. Like, no, they're praying. In Daniel 6:10, Jews typically pray 3 times a day. It actually comes from Daniel 6:10, where Daniel was praying on his knees 3 times a day. Okay, mentions he prays 3 times a day. This is right before he goes into the lion's den. And then in Psalms 55:11 says, evening and morning and at noon, I will pray and cry out loud. So Jews take that as they pray 3 times a day. And here we have them asking Jesus to teach them how to pray. Even the disciples needed to help. They're already praying. If they're being good Jewish people, they're already praying 3 times a day and they're asking for help. How do we do better? How do we pray better? So I have never met a Christian in my life that says, I got prayer figured out. I don't need to pray any better than I currently do. I never heard anyone say, I can't pray better. Like, God, I'm the peak. So what a great goal. What a good reminder that the disciples who already pray 3 times a day, which most of us probably don't do, other than like maybe if you were eating a meal. But if you're not fasting, are you praying that? Is that the only time you pray? So I think that's a really good encouragement that you can be better at prayer. You can ask God to help you be better at prayer. The disciples need to be better at prayer who were frequently doing it. And to kind of take the focus off Why are you fasting? Are you fasting for your own? Now, it's okay to fast to lose weight. Don't get me wrong. I do it. But a lot of times, especially these 40-day fasts, you're not just doing it just for that. You're doing it for seeking out more guidance, more counsel, more revelation in your life, and a deeper walk with prayer. It's good for me to go back and read these things, and it encourages me, who is not currently in a 40-day fast, to remember those milestones and those breakthroughs and those needs and those just chances for refocusing on proper direction. And I just want to just mention that we all talk about, everybody has a different thing. Brienne on her day 12, she was able to walk for the first time. She walked for 2 miles last night. Real exercise, the first time she did exercise since her fast. It was slow, but she felt good. But then she spent some time praying and working through some things. So wonderful. So as you're fasting and God takes you through that, you're going to see these little victories and these little milestones. Brienne's little victory was she was able to walk for 2 miles for the first time, and she was able to get some healing through prayer. Chelsea recognized that she was like, this is time for me to like really dig in and learn more about how to pray. As it's okay to ask God to help you learn to be better at prayer, because the disciples had to do it. You're in really good company with the top 12 people if you ask to be better at prayer. And if water tastes funny, change the water you're drinking. So here we are talking about water and getting closer to prayer with God. And water that is on this earth is not tasting right. And I think there's a very excellent biblical example of both of these things. And it's in John 4:14, when Jesus says, "But whoever drinks the water I shall give him will never thirst. But the water I shall give him will become from a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life." So the water on this earth doesn't taste right. So you need the water from Jesus. See you tomorrow.